guys, so today I'm going to be telling you guys some little tips and tricks so that way you guys can be a 4.0 student. And let me just be honest here, I do not have a 4.0, I have like a 3.98. That's because I'm a PSEO student and psychology low-key kicked my butt and I got a B. But I did get a 4.0 all throughout high school and throughout middle school, so I'm going to be telling you guys how I got that. The very first thing to get a 4.0 is that you need to have the correct mentality. If you want a 4.0, you cannot be looking at other people who have 4.0s and think, wow, they are so smart, I could never be that way. No, that is not true, because I'm a 4.0 student. I don't show up to classes, like, I don't care about that. I don't study and I still get A's. It's all about the mentality. It has nothing to do whether or not that you're gifted in math or that you're gifted in academic. It has nothing to do with that. It's all about your mentality. You want to be striving for an A. You want to have the motivation to get an A. You cannot be settling down to, oh, that's good enough, I'll just get a B. And that's how you will never get an A. What my history teacher used to say in middle school is that if you do what is asked, you're going to get a B. And if you go above and beyond, then you're going to get an A. And that is something that I always live by. All you have to do is that you want to get an A and strive for it, and that's how you get an A. Number 2 is that you want to do your homework right away. And there's just so many people that are struggling with this, and that is literally the key to get an A. Most of your classes are probably going to be more homework based, especially in high school. So if you just get your homework done and turn it in, that is an easy A right there. You want to try to get a perfect score on the homework. You just want to try to get everything that you need in the homework and turn it in. That is it. That is basically how I got an A in high school. It's just turning in my homework. If you think about it, if you wait to the very last minute to do your homework and do your project, you're going to be more stressed and you're going to be more rushed. And when you're rushed, you don't necessarily do all the correct things. There's going to be more mistakes than you would if you did it earlier. And at that point, when you're all rushed and you're doing it last minute, you're going to be basically having the mentality of just, you know what, that's good enough, that's just going to get me a B as long as I turn it in, that's good. After you do your homework, then you have all the time in the world to fix up any mistakes that you think that you did and actually go out and have some fun and, you know, watch some Netflix. Tip number 2 is to ask for help, and this is so many people like who just don't want to ask for help. Maybe they're scared to ask for help or anything like that. No, it is perfectly okay. That's what teachers are there for. They are there to help you with your education. If you go in there, you know, sometimes they give you the answers to the homework. It doesn't happen all the time, but it's very helpful, and maybe the teacher can explain it in a different way that you will learn. You should go in there with the questions that you want to ask. Maybe they can give you some kind of explanation or a way to remember something, so that way by the time it comes to the final or the test, you know what you need to know. Tip number 3 is to sit in front of the classroom. I find that this is so helpful, especially if I'm in a class that I know that I'm not the strongest at. It's so helpful for me to sit in front of the class, because then it automatically makes me want to focus, makes me want to pay attention to the teacher. And also when you're in the front, like, you can't be texting because the teacher will call you out for it. Unlike in the very back, she's not going to be able to see it sometimes. So you want to sit up in the front. I know, it sucks. You're in school, you want to go on your phone. But you know what? You have all day to go on your phone, but you only have this 1 hour to get all the materials that you need to know, so that way you're ready for your test. And also, when you sit up in front of the class and you make eye contact with the teacher and you pay attention, she's going to have some kind of image of who you are as a student, whether or not you're a good student or you're like a hard worker or anything like that. And maybe she'll end up giving you a raise in the grade if you are so close to an A. She might be able to, because she knows that you're a hard worker, and maybe there's some mishaps and mistakes here and there, and she knows who you are, so she's going to bump up your grade. It doesn't happen all the time, but you should take that chance anyways. Number 4 is to plan ahead and get organized. I buy a planner for this, and I find that it is so helpful. I bring my planner every single day to school, and then later on when the teacher mentions about assignment that's coming up, I write it down. It's almost as if it's like a to-do list, and you are just being way more organized. So that way, if you have other activities such as work or school or anything like that, you can find a little slot in there to do your homework or get ahead in your project. Tip number 5 is to form a homework group. Everybody in the class knows exactly what you're going through because they're in there with you. So if you form a homework group, each person in the group is going to know something that the others don't know. And that's how you guys can help each other. If you guys are missing a worksheet, they can send it back and forth to you. I mean, obviously don't copy, but at least learn from what they're writing down. But you guys can kind of teach each other the materials that they know. And I find that teaching is actually very, very helpful, and that's actually a study where if you teach something and you say it out loud, you're going to remember it a little bit more. Tip number 6 is to take advantage of Google, but don't literally take advantage of it. And what I mean by this is that if you're stuck on a question, just Google it and figure out the answer. But make sure you remember why it's going to be like that. You want to strive to understand the material. You can't just Google and then just write down the answers and just turn in your paper, because by the time the final comes, you are screwed because you're not going to know anything that you just wrote down or what you just learned online. For instance, I use this for especially for math and chemistry. If I don't know something, I Google it. And then usually in those little like Yahoo answers or something like that, somebody's always going to be writing down step by step on how they got the answer. And that's how I copy it. I copy it down step by step, so that way by the time the next question shows up and it's the same exact type of formula, I guess, I can use that same exact way that I did for this question and change the numbers and learn how it's going to be for this question. Just don't copy from Google like way too much, because then you're screwed. Tip number 7 is to use your time wisely. And this means if you have an open period, use that time to finish up your homework. That way you can get it done and out of the way, and you have all the free time in the world to go do whatever you want. And you don't have to end up worrying about if you finish that homework or not. This can also help out for you to get ahead in the class. So for my high school, for instance, in my math class, it's very self-paced, so that way I can get ahead, and if I get ahead, I'm able to leave the class. I like to get ahead so that way if I end up doing something that day that I totally did not know about, like it's a surprise vacation or that you have to go somewhere, you have work all of a sudden, you will be okay and you're in the safe zone because you are already ahead. You don't have to worry about it. Number 8 is to sleep, and this is also very important because if you don't sleep, then you're going to end up falling asleep in class, and then you're going to not know anything that she just said during the lecture, and maybe you might end up missing some assignment. Number 9 is to eat. You don't want to sit in class when you're supposed to be paying attention to the teacher. You're going to all of a sudden be wondering, what's for lunch? What's for dinner? I'm so hungry. Do we have any snacks? Like, do I have a snack in my bag? What can I munch on? You don't want to be doing that because you're supposed to be paying attention to the teacher and find some things that you should know about the material. And tip number 10 is something that my best friend from Canada told me to do, is to make your notes look pretty. If you make your notes super organized and pretty, it's just easier to read. It's a lot better than just slapping some words on a piece of paper, and then when you have to study it, you just have to read through it. You're not going to probably understand anything, and you're probably going to be like, what the heck did I just read? I can't read my handwriting or anything like that. Make your notes look pretty so that way you know exactly where to draw your eye to for the important parts that you need to know for the final. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Give this video a thumbs up if you found it helpful, and comment down below when you guys get out of school because I want to know. And subscribe to this channel so that way you guys can see more videos like this, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye guys!